This is another attempt, or I would say another manifestation of an attempt to drag the republics of the South Caucasus into the zone of Euro-Atlantic influence. They are being undertaken by both NATO and the countries individually, long ago and systematically. The recent visit of a NATO official of this level confirms that this activity in this direction has increased, multiplied. What is the problem? What is the point? The point is that there seem to be fewer problems in the South Caucasus. And who in the West can be satisfied with this? Westerners are not satisfied with the very fact of interaction of these states with each other, which has already started to build up in the direction of approaching peace agreements. The Westerners are not satisfied with the very fact of communication between these states and Russia, which is equal, mutually respectful, and aimed at global peace in the region. Hence, the incessant attempts of NATO and the European Union, which has joined it, to stimulate the rupture of relations of the states of the region with each other and with Moscow, to aggravate the situation along the perimeter of our southern borders. Of course, there is also the maximum task, namely to open a second front against our country in Transcaucasia and to set the region on fire anew. Those agreements, which were reached through Russian mediation, literally worked as a red rag for the West, because it was a road truly to peace based on mutual respect and consideration, mutual consideration of interests. I would like to recall that at the last NATO summit in Vilnius in July, the formula adopted in 2008 that Georgia would become a member of the alliance was reaffirmed. Coalition standards are being actively imposed on Tbilisi in order to establish control over the defense and security sectors of this former Soviet republic. Recently, Western emissaries have become noticeably more active in the Armenian direction. In particular, they are pushing the individually adapted Armenia-NATO partnership program. Their efforts are aimed at discrediting Yerevan's ties with Moscow and, ideally, at the complete curtailment of our contacts. They, Westerners, do not hide it at all. Now they are trying to drive our partnership with Baku into a wedge. That is, they have a broad front of goals and objectives, and it is obvious that NATO is not interested, as a bloc, in stability and security in the South Caucasus. What have Washington and its satellites really mastered? It is planting an anti-Russian narrative in regional countries, introducing chaos and tension. But what they really know and love to do, the bloc's interference in regional affairs will only lead to destabilization of an already difficult situation. And the efforts of such so-called enablers are hardly in the interests of the peoples living in the South Caucasus.